So let me talk about how we got there. So I'll ask the people in the room, anybody know what this is? Tim, you should know. This was idea. No, we worked on this same company, same product. So this is actually where it all started. This is the first graphics program and the first computer-aided design program. This is Ivan Sutherland's Sketchpad at MIT in 1963. First CAD system and a dedicated computer. So our industry was born at MIT in 1963, and it kind of lived on mainframes for a while. The 60s and 70s were the mainframe era. And it's funny, we joke that when Carl sees this picture, he says, that's Steve Blum as a young man. We think that's Brian Matthews' dad helping Steve. But this is kind of what computers were like when I was in school. We had a terminal connected to the campus mainframe and stuff. So computer-aided design was there. Very expensive, very kind of isolated to big aircraft, big auto, those kinds of things. Then in the 80s, 1982 to be exact, personal computers came out. Autodesk was either lucky or very insightful to be founded right then, and the founders wanted to create a CAD system on a PC. And they did that, which we all know became AutoCAD. And if you follow disruptive technology theory, that's kind of the theory that says that incumbents are often disrupted from below because someone comes from below with something that actually is considered a toy by the incumbents. It's lower powered, lower functionality, but in fact it can take over a new market and then improve at a faster rate. That's exactly what happened with AutoCAD. They've never known a world that you don't interact directly. I mean, they probably wouldn't know what to do with a command line. They've never known a world that's not connected. So Jeff uses the slide and talks about a story where this kid goes to a coffee table and tries to resize a magazine and says, "Daddy, it's broken." Because their worldview is different than ours. Yeah. So that's a UX challenge actually for us is as we, if I look around the room, few of us aren't, but most of us are older, considerably older than that. How do we actually prepare for that kind of generation? And the work style and all that stuff would be quite different. So we actually looked at a lot of stuff around the future of work and how companies and organizations would change. So that was one big trend, is really trying to understand that we're designing for a population that's largely different from us because a bunch of us in the room and on the phone represent the age of customer who's going to be retiring over the next 10 or 20 years. We actually want to be a company that's around for much longer, so we need to think about these populations. So just another few things, and I'll kind of go through some of these quickly. Some of you might have, I've done this talk before, some of you might have seen this. We also said out in the world, there's three big trends happening. One is that products are becoming services. So transactions are becoming relationships and functions are becoming experiences. So products and services, you can point to a bunch of examples, but a great example is Zipcar. My niece, who used to live here in San Francisco, I helped her buy a car when she graduated from college, and a year later she sold it. And I said, well, why'd you do that? She said, well, when I need a car, I'll just get Zipcar, and it's a pain to park this thing. She lived here in the city and stuff. So, and she's in Washington, I visited her, and she just, whenever she needs a car, she's like on her phone, we get a Zipcar and go someplace. So that's happened partially because of technology. Again, the IT technology means you can go find a car wherever you are, and the way their IT platform works, the cars are available. So that's happening across a bunch of modes. Transactions are becoming relationships. Businesses always say they want a relationship with their customers. Most of them are still very transactional. What's really interesting to me is I'm like Amazon Prime plus. And I love Amazon, and I feel like I have a relationship with them, and they know who I am, and I bought something the other day. I read lots of books. I clicked on a thing. They said, you already bought that. So they're like acting in my best interest. It's a long-term thing. What's interesting is I feel like they are looking out for me, and I have a personal relationship with them. It's a bunch of computers. I don't know anybody at Amazon, and in fact, if you try to get to a person, it's really hard. But they create a relationship partially through the attitude of caring about you as a customer and caring about the relationship more than the individual transaction. But they also are using technology to create a relationship. So I think we're actually at a point where the rhetoric of moving from transaction to relationships is becoming the reality, set again by our expectations as consumers.